Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Mr. Hino with Miss Hino's Lego Robotics. Well, were you guys watching the RePlay Kickoff yesterday? If you were, so was I. So what I want to do is take today's video and kind of go over what I saw as far as the RePlay theme. What I also want to do is go over some clues that they had about your innovative project. Definitely the robot game missions and their points. And I also want to go over some rule changes that are a little different from last year. So if you want to see everything, stay with me. And after watching this video, if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right there. Come on, I know you can do it. Okay guys, so I don't want to come across as some kind of expert, but I have been doing this since 2015. So there are some things from yesterday's kickoff that kind of jumped out at me as, hey, this is something important and something that's, being used to clarify what your team is supposed to do for your innovative project. So what I want to do is go over some of those clues, and you guys can throw down in the comments sections if you saw this with me, or if you agree or disagree. So I'm going to make sure I got my notes down right on this one here. So from yesterday's kickoff, what we're looking for your innovative project is some way to help people that are not being active enough. And so this is what I got from the, if you could take the whole problem and put it into one sentence. Identify a specific problem that's linked to people not being active enough. So when you're trying to come up with your innovative project, that's where you're trying to target a way to help out people that are not being active enough, and then link that to what is a problem that occurs from that. So when you come up with your innovative project or your solution, it's going to help people that are not being active enough to be more active, and then it can cancel out whatever that problem is that's linked to them not being active enough, if that makes sense. So what I'm looking at is, being motivating, trying to figure out in your project a way to motivate people to be more active, and just helping them with this, issue that's linked with them not being active enough. I also got places to play, that people can be active, and a way that people can participate. Everybody can participate. So, if you want to think about people who, like last year from City Shaper, they had that girl in the wheelchair, and she, if they're going to a park, it's like, hey, some of these things aren't built for me. So, there can be a connection from last year as far as, somebody not being able to participate like everybody else. So now what I want to do is head straight now to the robot game. And I'm not going to dissect everything. In fact, from yesterday's kickoff, if you just want to see those robot game missions and their points, I'm going to leave that at the end of this video. And I'm going to link the whole, just the replay in the description if you want to see what I was talking about as far as the project and also the robot game mission points. So what I want to do is right now go over what I saw is some interesting things for this year's game that's different from last year's. So let's go to that. Okay, so here's the first thing I noticed, that they're still having the small inspection area. The difference from last year is they were going to add 5 points to every mission that you got points for. This year, they're just giving you a flat 25 points. If everything, on your robot, your attachments, your equipment fits into that small inspection space, you're just going to get that flat 25 points instead of 5 points per mission, which, if you're doing the math right, I think most teams last year were going to get more points than 25, but hey, this year I guess everybody just gets those points regardless if they do one mission or if they do, 8 or 9. So that's the first observation I made. Here's something else that I thought was super huge. Last year, your robot had to return to the home area, and the home area was considered this giant rectangle over here to the side of the mat. So this year, if you can see, and I've left you a link to these rules about the robot game. So if you can see here, now this quarter circle is the launch area, but as soon as your robot leaves, it becomes part of home. So in essence, your robot doesn't not need to come all the way back to this home area over here, this rectangle. It can come back just to this quarter circle. So that's huge, and that basically kind of takes us back to a few years ago when you could return just to the quarter circle, as opposed to last year when we had to have the robot return to this rectangle. So I think that was a different rule for this year that I thought was pretty huge. Staying on the topic of the launch area, if you notice this, it says this imaginary space, which is called the launch area, for this year, it has no ceiling, which I think was another huge rule change. Because last year, the rules stated that it had to be 12 inches or less for the launch area. Your robot could not be 12 inches or higher. So this year, it says that this launch area has no ceiling. So the only thing this year that has to do with having some type of ceiling is when you have your robot in the inspection area. Your robot and all of its equipment has to be less than 12 inches, which is not a big deal because they're stating in the rules that if it is, you just take it apart and place it in the area, and then, once you have passed inspection, you can now put it back on, and that's huge now. So now your robot can be as tall as you want it, especially for that basketball mission. So very interesting rule changes there. So that's something to keep in mind when your team practices, and you don't want to get locked into what was happening last year. You would just want to be able to take those rule changes and apply it to this year. So what I want to do now is shift some focus and go to now the robot game. I'm not going to talk about every mission. I'm just going to talk about what we consider to be easy, and what's going to be some of the point values that your team might be interested in. So let's go ahead and go talk about a few of these missions, and definitely you can feel free to throw down in the comments section any comments that you have about any of the missions, but especially the ones I'm going to talk about. Okay, so this is part of the kickoff where they're talking about the robot game. I've already turned off the audio on here. I'm just going to talk over the person. But they're talking about this part being the launch area and this part being the home, where it includes now where this quarter circle is. So that was, again, talking about that huge change in the rules. Now, every year has a mission that's very easy for a good amount of points. Last year it was those blocks, if you remember from last year. But this mission 1 is, I feel, the easy mission where they're giving you 20 points if you're just putting your project into either the RePlay logo or this part here right by the bench. And they're not even asking for it to be completely in. They're just saying in the rules that if it touches it, then you get those 20 points. So I feel that is a really easy and nice mission, even for those teams that are just starting off. I feel that's a mission that every team can do, just to get those 20 points, just to say, hey, we're doing pretty good. So it's a real, my team calls it the encouragement mission, where it's just encouraging for teams to be able to get that. And especially if your team just moves it into this area. I mean, look how close it is to the launch area. So definitely mission 1 looks doable for every team. Now let's go ahead and take a look at another easy mission that I think every team can do. So another mission that I feel every team can get done, and it's for a good amount of points, is the robot dance. It's going to be mission number 7, and it's going to occur up here in the north part of the field. And it's just, and I'll just go ahead and start this video. Your robot is basically just dancing on the area, and the rules don't specify what the dancing is. It's just your robot spinning, but it needs to be at the end of your 2.5 minutes. So obviously that's going to have to be the last mission that your team does to get those points. But pretty good points, 20 points for just having your robot dance on this little area over here at the end of your missions. So two fairly easy missions right there, mission 1 and mission 7. Let's go ahead and talk now about mission number 6, the pull-up bar. Okay, so this is mission 6, the pull-up bar. And the interesting thing about this mission, and every year it seems like there's some hidden messages, like with the small inspection area. I think they're trying to just basically get rid of the robots that have these giant, huge attachments. But some teams still are able to figure this out. But you can see from this mission that they're trying to do a few things, is get the size of the robot down. Because the first part of this mission, your robot has to go underneath the bar. And then the second part is, your robot is going to have to hang onto the bar. So you can see how they're trying to reward teams with robots that are smaller, so that they're able to, number 1, go underneath it. And then number 2, be able to hang on it. So this mission here was just interesting to me to see that, the direction they're trying to go here is. Look how small that robot is. Like, some of these robots that are huge are not going to be able to do that. So this is just a case where, if you have one of those giant robots, you're going to have to figure out, when you have your attachments, do you just send the robot with, that doesn't have all the attachments on it to run this mission? Or do the teams with the big robots just not even do this mission at all? But I feel like I've seen this before, especially with Animal Allies, where if a team has a giant robot, they might wait till the very end and, just send out the robot without the large, huge attachment to go underneath here and try to hang on it. The only issue is, how do you get your robot back if, it's hanging on this bar? So it's a matter of strategy. Is if you're going to do this mission, it needs to be last. But also then, what do you do about mission 7 then? Because, that's supposed to be at the very end. So this is where the strategy is involved, where teams have to figure out, okay, what are we going to do here in this situation? Okay, guys, so if you missed yesterday's Kickoff robot game mission and points, I'm going to go ahead and roll that for you right now.
This is the RePlay competition field. There are 14 missions, which can be attempted in any order. You do not have to complete all the missions. Just try as many as you can in each 2.5-minute round. Only the score from your best round will be counted. Your robot must start from this launch area, and you should program it to return to this home area when it returns from the field. You can handle and modify your robot while it is in the home area. If your robot and all its equipment is small enough to fit in this small inspection area, you will score 25 points. Mission 1, Innovation Project. During this mission, you will use the white brick model that you have made that represents the solution to your innovation project. The robot moves your white brick model into the RePlay logo, or to the gray area around the bench. Mission 2, Step Counter. The robot slides the step counter slow and steady. The further it moves, the more points that are scored. Mission 3, Slide. The robot slides the people off the slide and moves them to other areas, completely in home or on the heavy tire. Mission 4, Bench. The robot flattens the bench, removes the backrest, and gets cubes into the hopscotch spaces. Mission 5, Basketball. The robot gets a cube into the crate and raises the crate up the basketball post to the middle height, or to the top height. Mission 6, Pull-Up Bar. The robot passes completely under the bar in either direction, then later comes back and lifts itself off the mat at the end of the match. Mission 7, Robot Dance. If the robot is dancing on the dance floor at the end of the match, Mission 8, Boccia. If both share models have sent only one cube anywhere into the opposing field, and those cubes color match each other. If there are any color cubes in your frame or target. And if there is at least one yellow cube completely in your target. Mission 9, Tire Flip. The robot flips tires white side up, the heavy black tread tire and the light blue tread tire. If the heavy tire crosses the red flip line at any time, it scores 0. The robot moves the tires into the large target circle. Mission 10, Cell Phone. The robot flips the cell phone white side up. Mission 11, Treadmill. The robot spins the rollers to move the pointer clockwise. The further it moves, the more points scored. Gray, red, orange, yellow, light green, or dark green. Mission 12, Row Machine. The robot moves the free wheel out of the large circle and into its smaller target circle. Mission 13, Weight Machine. For the match, set the weight machine to the color you want. Blue, magenta, or yellow. During the match, the robot forces the large lever down until the little yellow stopper falls to score points. Blue, magenta, or yellow. Mission 14, Health Units. The robot collects health units from around the field, then moves them to target areas, touching the RePlay logo, touching the gray area around the bench, or looped over the pull-up bar post. Mission 15, Precision. If you interrupt your robot, you will lose a precision token. Precision tokens left on the field can result in extra points.
Okay, guys, so there you go from yesterday's kickoff. Just some of my thoughts, some of my observations of watching the entire thing from the innovative project to the robot game. So I definitely want to hear what you guys think after watching from yesterday. What you thought about the innovative project ideas, some of their clues, and then definitely what you think about the robot game missions as far as the points, whether it's difficult, easy, somewhere in the middle, something that you know that your team would want to do, something that your team knows, hey, I think that's going to be something we'll push off to the side. I definitely want you to tell me what you think about the launch area and home, the rule about the 12 inches, the inspection area, anything that you want to throw down in the comment section, I'll answer each one. Okay, guys? So it was a really neat kickoff to this year's RePlay season. Hopefully, depending on how your state or your district is handling COVID, something that your team can get excited about, and even if it's remote, that you can still participate. So, okay, guys. So hopefully you can let me know what you think, and I'll see you in my next video. I am Mr. Hino from Zega Robotics. I'm out.
He's out.
He's out.
We got this.
We got this.
We got this, guys.
Hey guys, Mr. Hino here. Thank you so much for watching. And if you love robotics, don't forget to check out these videos also because they're cool. Okay guys, take care.